Welcome to BibleLink. It's great to see you. BibleLink exists to link the Bible to real life, your life. So we're in chapter 8 today. And God remembers Noah and the animals. He sends a wind to move the waters away. He stops the rain. He closes up the floodgates coming down upon the earth. The waters recede, and after a little while, Noah and his family come out of the ark. Can you imagine what it would have felt like to step off that ark? This was quite an ordeal, and it lasted for months. But God brought him through it. Have you ever gone through a storm in your life that you thought would never end? Perhaps you're one right now. The trouble just keeps coming and coming like a flood, and the effects of it can hang around for months and months. And in your life, you're just like, I want to get off of this boat. Noah and his family, they went through a similar thing. This was a situation that would radically change their world and their lives forever. The important thing for us to note is that God didn't forget about him. He knew they were in the storm. He knew he was going to bless them. He knew he was going to rebuild the world through him. You see, God doesn't forget us and our troubles either. God is present. And God's Spirit is working to blow away the waters, to close up the floodgates, to stop the rain that pours into our lives. God is working in our world for good, even when we're not aware of it. Eventually, Noah's family, all those animals, they get off the ark, and God gives the same command he gave earlier in Genesis 1. Be fruitful and multiply. You see, God desires fruitfulness, blessing, and multiplication in our lives. Even if you're in the midst of a flood right now, that doesn't mean that God's fruitfulness isn't coming. The story tells us there's always hope that God will bring a blessing. We don't have to resign ourselves to the chaos of the flood. God will bring a blessing. Noah offers a sacrifice to God, and God is very pleased with it. God responds to the sacrifice by saying he won't curse the ground again because of humanity, and he won't ever destroy all living creatures again. God changes his approach in dealing with humans. Have you ever thought about how God could change his mind? It's not to say that God's character changes or that God is untrustworthy, but it is saying that God's plan has always been redeeming the world through Jesus Christ. God's not doing good one day and evil another. God is forever good. But God can change his mind about people and how he interacts with us. In this passage, God acknowledges that humanity is still sinful, but he chooses to respond differently. He'll be a suffering God. He'll be patient with us sinful humans in hopes that our future can be changed. God takes that same pain and grief from sin upon himself, but decides to respond to humanity in a way that doesn't wipe out the earth. Now, this isn't to say that God won't still discipline, he won't punish, and God's goals still remain the same, fruitfulness and multiplication upon the earth. It's just his approach to reaching these goals that changed. What do you think about God being able to change combined to God's not being able to change? Is there something for us to learn in that? Is there a person we need to change our mind about? Maybe we need to change our approach and how we deal with them. Instead of coming down really hard on them with punishment, maybe we should choose to take the path of a suffering servant like Jesus. How can we seek good for them even if they're doing something wrong? Is there a better way of accomplishing our hope for good to come into their lives? What else did you notice in chapter 8? What do you think about God changing his mind in this passage? Thanks for engaging in BibleLink today. Join the conversation on Facebook, ask questions, share your observation, and invite someone to join us. We'll see you tomorrow.